Hello, good morning, students. I am Dr. S.R.BHARGAVA, Department of English, Associate Professor. A day before, we have seen what is note making, and today, in the connection of this topic, I am going to teach you the next important things about note making. Just as we have seen that the definition of note making is a way of recording important details from a source. We have seen this source can be any book, article, meeting, or any oral discussion. In note making, the writer records the essence of the information. It helps us to understand and clarify thinking. Note making saves a lot of time by going through the notes made. One can get a glimpse of a lot of information from a short note. So, students, we have seen that what is the definition of note making. It is a way of recording something from important information. It may be from book, article, meeting, or any discussion. In record, the writer records the essence of the information. This is very important. The essence of information. It helps us to understand and clarify thinking. It saves a lot of time by going through the notes made, and one can get a glimpse of a lot of information from a short note. Now we come forward and see what are the benefits, advantages of note making. How does it help in our records? A note making is a skill which improves by practicing. There are some advantages of note making. Let us get to know some of them. So there are so many advantages of making notes because it is a skill which improves by practicing. The advantages are it has great importance in exams or in academic writing. For the student's purpose, examination is very important or in academic writing. It is an organization of main points for future use. For future use, it is very important. It's an organization. Note making helps in keeping the information handy whenever we require. Whenever we need notes, they come to us and we are get benefited from them. It helps in recollecting and recalling the past events said or heard. A recollection or recalling of the records of the events that has been done. It helps in concentrating, understanding, and provides a permanent record. Note making format helps a writer to go through bulky documents quicker. If we are not able to read the bulky or heavy books, we need notes. Note making format helps the writer to go. It helps in understanding a material if the notes are in our own words. In our own words, we get help from them. It distinguishes between main points and details. We have also seen that note making has a format. There is a fixed note for making format. One needs to know this making format in order to have a clear and unambiguous understanding from it. The note making format has heading, subheading, point, subheading. We have also read them, and we are now come to the procedure of. After reading the points, subheading, keywords, now we come the next point, that is procedure of note making. Procedure, the process. How can we make notes? What are the guidelines regarding this? Read the passage provided. Read the passage provided. Underline the important sentences. So students are advised to take step by step information regarding the procedure of note making. Underline the important sentences. It helps us to make headings and subheadings. Make a rough note first so as to get an idea. Rough notes is very necessary because it gives us an idea Organize them in logical order or sequence for the final note. Use the appropriate note-making format. Do not change the idea or the message of the passage. So students are advised to read the passage given, underline the important sentences because it helps us to make headings and subheadings. A rough exercise for note making is very good because it helps us in getting idea. We have to organize them in logical order, sequence for the final note. Because use the appropriate note making format is very essential. We should not change the idea of the or the message of the passage. So this is also important. In regarding the procedure of note making, we have some points to be remembered. For example, avoid using long sentences as heading or title. Avoid using long sentences as heading or title. We have to avoid the long sentences because they are not convenient to the students because title or heading in long sentences are known as the secondary type of title. Never lose the main idea of the passage. We have to keep the idea sustained. Ignore information which is less important. We should not give weightage to the less important information. Be brief, clear, and specific. We should be very precise, clear, brief, and special in the choosing the idea or getting the message. Use logical sequence. Logical sequence. The sentence or the message or the connection of the idea should be in sequence. Use proper identification. We have to make proper identity of the sentence. Leave no spaces to avoid confusion. There should be no spaces in the sentences because it creates confusion. Do not include your own version or understanding. We are advised that we should not include our own version or understandings because they spoil the decorum of the note making. Use abbreviations. Abbreviations are important because they saves time, energy, etc. Make your note more memorable by adding colors, drawings, and symbols. Practically, we should use drawings, colors, and symbols because they are very decorative things to make the things memorable. Now we have some characteristics of note making, how the mechanics of linear note making clear we have to see. Note making format involves the selection, analyze, summarization, and organization of information. First of all, the selection of the format is very essential because it follows analysis, summarization, organization of information. There are different types of format. Let us make ourselves familiar with them. Split page format in narrative note making format. In this method, the page is divided into two columns. The first column had the standard notes and the second column will have a summary. This is the most common note making format to note down lecture notes. So this method is very popular because in the first column we have standard notes. We should divide the page into two columns. Second column we will have summary. This is the most common note making format to note down lecture notes. Diagram. Pattern format, a visual note making format method. In this method the information is presented by a diagram. The main topic is linked together by related ideas. This method is visually more appealing and easy to understand. Visual note making. In the information is presented by a diagram. The main topic is linked together by related ideas. So diagram is very important. Mind map, a visually note making method. In this method, the main points and all the related points are presented through a map. It contains text and image both. For a clear understanding, the information is linked in the proper sequence. Outline format, a visual note making format. In this method, the information is presented as an outline. Proper titles and subtitles are numbered accordingly for this outline. Questions and prompt formats. A visual note making format is very essential. Solved examples. Problems. A person really wants to remember the information the speaker is providing. What should he need to do? Listen for non-verbal clues. Non-verbal clues. Listen for verbal clues. Write down the important details. None of the above. So we have to write down the solution. Third, write down the important details. Problem, why is it important to take notes? So now the question comes in our mind, why to make notes? Helps you remember, improves your concentration level, helps you prepare for test. All of the above. Solution, all of the above. So we have seen how the note making becomes very essential. In the lecture, we have seen that note making becomes very essential because we should not feel sad, because note making is very essential in critical time. If we are sitting listening the lecture carefully and we have to prepare examination, we should not remain silent. We should take paper and pen and write down the outlines, because outlines helps in memorization or memory remember of the notes for exam purpose. Now in the PPT we have seen that the format is very important. A narrative note making format with it. Split means divide. The page is divided into two parts, two columns. There are two pages, there are two sections. In the first section we have to write standard notes, and in the second column we have to write summary of the note making. This is most common note making format to note down lecture notes. So students, you have to keep in your mind. Diagram, pattern format, diagram, drawing, colors, etc. Practically they are very important because they attract the attention of the readers, attract the attention of the audience, and they are very useful for future records. Mind map. Some teachers teach the students with the help of diagram and maps. In geography or in every field, every subject, the map is very important, because mapping of the lecture is also help in the students in understanding, because it is linked in the proper sequence. Outline format, visual note making format. In this method the information is presented as an outline. Proper titles and subtitles are numbered accordingly for this outline, and questions and prompt format answer are also required. So students are given the problems, they have to note down the verbal and non-verbal clues, and they, because it's important to write down the important details, helps you remember, it improves our concentration level, and it also helps in preparation for the tests. So thanks to students, you have taken it very seriously and understood the content of the note making, and this will help you in examination process. Thanks once again. Thanks.